Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Zach. Thank you so much for tuning back into my channel. Today, what I have for you guys is another Red Dead Redemption 2 video. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the best controller settings, the best console settings, the best sensitivity settings, just the best controls to play Red Dead Redemption 2 to keep you on the top of your game, because I've seen a lot of people complaining about like their sensitivity and how this game feels clunky and sluggish, and I'm here to give you guys some appropriate settings so you guys can master this game. So first of all, I just want to give a huge shout out to MashX for What on the Red Dead Redemption 2 subreddit. He showed the first tip I'm going to show you guys in this video, and this is so you guys can avoid, you know, just spamming the X button to actually sprint. I have this setting enabled right now. Basically, here we're going to come to the settings, and basically this is what you're going to do. You're going to go to controls, and then you're going to go down here to where it says third person controls, and you're going to change it to standard FPS. As you can see, I have that setting enabled right now. You're going to change it from standard to standard FPS. This stands for standard first person. And then what you're going to do after this is you're going to go all the way down to accessibility, and you're going to see the running mode, and it's going to be a bunch of options. You're going to see hold to run, and you're going to switch it to toggle to run in the running mode, on foot only in the accessibility settings. You also have some things here like tap delay and tap assist for those quick time events. I just have those things off anyway. So now what this is going to do is basically it's going to change your running settings and your sprinting settings from your A button on your Xbox One or your X button on your PlayStation 4, and it's going to change it to the analog stick like a first person game. So basically you just push it in once and you start jogging essentially, and then you push it in again and you start a full-on sprint. And this, you know, this prevents you from actually pressing the X button, so in turn now you can sprint around the map, look around and all that stuff, rather than just running in a straight line, because now it's a lot easier because you're actually using your left thumb to actually sprint and move around, and you can save your right thumb for actually looking around on your right analog stick, and you don't need to be spamming the X button essentially. So that's one of the first major tips in this game. Again, I just started using it. It's probably going to take me a second to get used to, but I think it is going to be worth switching to this overall, because I do come from playing like a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of Battlefield, a lot of first-person games in general, and the only complaint I have for Rockstar's games is that same thing where you need to mash the X button to sprint. I much prefer it where you just hold X to run anyway, like typically in their online modes. Something else I want to point out as well is now that you swap the controls, your left analog stick is no longer used to actually crouch, it's used to sprint, so it swaps it to the X button or A, depending on which console you're on. X on PlayStation 4, A on Xbox One, and now it makes it so you just tap that in and you can crouch. That's super helpful as well, because now you can kind of look around free aim however you want, and then you could just tap X and crouch and avoid, you know, getting spotted or whatever situation you're in game. Now I have a few other settings to show you guys, so we're going to go back to the settings in Red Dead Redemption 2's menu. You're going to go back to controls, and you're going to change a few things here. The first thing you're going to do is go down here to where it says aim look dead zone. I think at normal it's all the way up, or maybe it's halfway. Basically what you want to do is you want to turn this all the way down. Now this is going to make your thumbsticks and your aiming much more responsive. Basically it just allows the slightest movement on your analog stick, and Arthur Morgan, or your character essentially in this game, will start aiming in a different direction. You don't need to push the analog stick all the way to one side or not to actually get it to like register in the controller and in the game. The second thing you're going to change is your aim and look acceleration. I think by default it may be at the bottom, or again maybe halfway. I have this all the way up. Some people do it like 2 notches down. I have this setting all the way up. Basically this just means that it's full acceleration the second you start aiming. So let me just show you kind of what it is here. This is what it's like with aim acceleration all the way up. Basically you move the controller and you're already aiming at your fastest speed depending on your sensitivity. If you have it all the way down like this, I'm going to show you as well. If you have aim look acceleration all the way down, when you start aiming, it's going to take a second for your aim to speed up. So see, like that, this is my sensitivity, but if I stop aiming and I want to go again, it takes a second to speed back up, and that's going to help you just in general have this game not feel so sluggish. I don't know why on default it may be all the way down like this. I'm not too sure, but it's a lot better if you have the aim acceleration maxed out at its fastest acceleration, just so you don't feel these clunky controller settings in Red Dead Redemption 2. You also want to change your aim and look sensitivity, and basically the difference between these two is with the look sensitivity, it's just basically that you're looking around in game just like this. You could be standing still, you could be moving, you're just not aiming. You know, you have a high sensitivity. Right now, I have it like 3 notches down from the top to my knowledge. And the aiming sensitivity like I have here is the same. Maybe you want to bump the aim sensitivity like 2 or 3 notches above. I may max it out soon. I eventually want to start playing on the highest look sensitivity and the highest aim sensitivity that this game can possibly offer. But basically, your aiming sensitivity is a separate sensitivity from your look sensitivity, and it's when you're actually aiming in the game, how quick it is. Again, I'm used to first-person games and first-person shooters, so I usually have the sensitivity maxed out in those. So Rockstar games always feel a little bit sluggish, but I'm getting used to it. Of course, the look sensitivity feels a lot higher than the aim sensitivity, and that's why you want to have your aim sensitivity higher than the look sensitivity, because technically it's on a lower setting just by default because of the fact that you're actually aiming and your aim is like zoomed in a little bit. There's a few more settings I want to share with you guys here. The other one here is aim assist. I have these on. I just find it helps, but I'm gonna try actually bumping it down in game. This is of course if you actually want to lock onto people or not. As you can see, the lock on mode is different than the aim assist. The aim assist basically is if you're dragging your sights over someone when you're aiming down your sight or your sniper scope or whatever. Basically, the aim assist is gonna slow down your aim just a little bit when you highlight over a body, just so it can actually assist you with your aim. The lock on mode is if you're going from not aiming at all to pressing the LT or L2 button depending on which console you're on, and you're just like looking in the general direction of someone, it will lock onto them right away. I have that on narrow. That's what I find is helps most, just because you don't necessarily need a whole bunch of aim assist, but you do want some type of lock on in this game just because of the fact that the screen wiggles and shakes and kind of rocks side to side depending on the gunfight you're in. Now, the last thing I want to show you guys is the first person controls. Basically, you want to do the same thing. You want to go to your first person controls and you want to change it to standard FPS, and you also want to have your aim and look sensitivity pretty much maxed out in this. Same with aim look acceleration, and of course you want to have your aim dead zone all the way down like this. This way, when you go into first person, if you guys are used to playing first person shooters and things like that, it really feels like a first person game. You could turn really quickly, you can aim really quickly. This is going to make first person feel a lot better, I promise you guys, in this game. Rockstar's first persons aren't the best in general, but this is greatly improved from the GTA 5 first person mode as well. So these are really all the best settings that you guys can use in Red Dead Redemption 2. Like I said, the third person and first person controls are going to be a lot better after using this guide. If this helped you in any way, please drop a like on this video, guys. I hope it did help. Also, if you guys did enjoy this video and found it helpful, definitely subscribe to the channel if you guys are new as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all of you guys supporting these Red Dead Redemption 2 videos recently, and I'll catch you guys in the next Red Dead Redemption 2 video. Adios, amigos.